Evening, everybody. My name's Andy Ragequit. This is Moose Racing League. It's Sunday, which is MRL day, and you are in for a treat. It is Tier 2 season opener around the street circuit of Singapore, where the racing is close, but the walls are indeed closer. I hope you're all ready for it. I'm looking forward to having a quick look at what this track has to offer then. So it's tight, it's twisty, it's 5 kilometers with 23 turns, 3 DRS zones. Obviously we've got some nice long straights for some overtakes, and we've got that critical turns 16 through 21 where accidents happen, wings are lost, and hopefully overtakes are kept to a bare minimum so that we don't have too many DNFs. Right then, here we go. We're getting ready for the start of the race. Let's see, it's J-Joe on pole with Kermit Attacks joining on the front row in the Red Bull. The McLaren of Fate Man takes P3 with Williams Racing's Chili Willy in P4. Andy in the Mercedes takes P5, and completing the third row, it's Moo Irons in the second Williams. We've got AlphaTauri's City of R in P7 with Sacco Like Taco in the second Red Bull P8. P9 is Semtex with P10 Landsharky. Georgester in P11 in the Mercedes with the McLaren of Bcos in P12. P13, it is JBTC in the Ferrari with AlphaTauri's Comp45 in P14. P15 is Gibbsy in the Alpine with Haas and Ketchin 91 in P16. Echo CFC 17. 18 is Maud. 19 is MB Jacobson. And in P20 at the back of the back is the Aston Martin of AK. I think we just about managed to get through all of those in the right amount of time, because we don't have a formation lap this evening. I'm led to believe that tonight's race is going to start off dry, but we may see some weather at some point in the middle of the race to add to the thrills and spills of Tier 2. And it's Tier 2 showtime with MRL Sunday! That is a horrible camera angle. And J-Joe gets off to an amazing start with Kermit. We do have some places changing at the back of the grid. And we've got a little bit of coming together further back. But it's J-Joe who's managed to get himself away. And cleanly, as does Kermit, Fake Mano, Chili, Andy, Iron, City of R, Sacco Like Taco, Semtex. Fake Mano burning through that ERS down the long straight. Getting down towards that corner. Is he going to make a move on the inside? It looks like he is going to make a move on the inside. Oh, there's contact. Oh, big contact. Huge crash. Huge crash. And Com45 is out of the race. We've got huge problems in Tier 2 on lap 3. Com45 out of the race. Chili Willy. Bits of his car all over the road. MB Jacobson. Looks like he might have been caught up in that, but hasn't got any missing parts.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. There's been an incident.
I think we're going to see, by the time they come out, the rain will be coming down. So we're going to see all these cars throwing themselves into the pits. City of R hasn't got into the pits. He's stayed out for a lap. He's stayed out for a lap. That's a huge gamble. Fate Mano, I thought he'd thrown on some hard tyres there. That was a bit of a mistake. 5 second for penalty. 5 second penalty for Gibbsy, speeding in the pit lane. Not good. What an absolute catastrophe that was, though. I'm not entirely sure whose fault that was, as Chili Willy and Fate Mano got tangled in that tight right-hand corner after the long straight. Soft song for the last throwings. Right then. When are we going, J-Joe? When are we going, J-Joe? Yeah, there he goes. He goes. He goes. Did he catch Fake Man napping? Possibly. Semtex get caught napping. Somebody's trying to warm their tyres up in front of Sacco. Sacco's got pressure. Didn't get left any room there, I have to say. Oh, Sacco. Steady. This is wet, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. The two Red Bulls are going side by side. Ooh, careful, Red Bulls, careful! Oh, he's going to get a better drive, I think, and he's piled on the ERS. So it's Sacco Like Taco trying to defend in the Red Bull from the Mercedes of Andy. Defends well down into turn 1 and 2. Takes turn 3 a little bit deep and wide. Are we going to see Andy get a run on him then down the long straight after this right-hander? Here they go. Out to the right to try and get the outside line. Goes Andy. Takes the position from Sacco. Is Sacco going to be late onto the brakes in this turn? It looks like he is. But he's not as late on the brakes as Andy is. Andy takes the position. A tiny little bit of contact there between the two. But it's now a Mercedes sandwich between two slices of Red Bull bread. Kermit's lost a little bit of time to Echo. He's going to have Andy for company pretty shortly, and Sacco like Taco is beginning now to drop off the back of Andy and get challenged by the Ferrari of JB. Yellow flag, and it's the Alpine of Semtex who's gone round. At the end of Sector 2, start of Sector 3, he's going to drop all the way back down to P17. P18, he's going to be under pressure from Jordster as well. Yellow flag in Sector 3 is Chilly Willy. He's having an absolute stinker of a day. And the safety car's out. The safety car is out. The prayers have been answered from the Red Bull race engineer. The voice is beginning to get a little strained already. We've had that much action. So we do have some cars in the pits. It's Ketchin, Sacco like Taco, Moo Irons and Jordster throwing themselves into the pits. Let's have a quick double check. We've seen enough of the position change for now. Now then, here we go. Here are the gamblers. So it's Echo, Andy, Ketchin and Jordster all on the medium tyres. Because I don't think it's been the crossover period just yet. When are we going to see this go? And away goes J-Joe with Fake Man, Kermit, JB, AK, Gibbsy, Maud, Sinchivar, Echo, all in hot pursuit. He got a good enough launch away, did J-Joe, as did Fake Man. The gaps are pretty even all the way down that field. As we see our medium runner Ketchin drop a position to Iron Boogs. Beco's closing in rapidly on Echo. Let's just have a quick look at this. Oh, he's pushed him round the corner. There's the traction. There's the difference in the two tyres right now then. Beco's makes the pass look easy. It's a big gamble for these guys now. All the medium runners occupy the bottom 6 positions in the classifications. So if you've got inters on right now, you need to get your foot down because eventually it will go dry. And the gamble for the guys on the mediums is that they just need to not knock it into the wall. And just as we're saying it, it's Echo CFC who dumps it into the wall, which gives all of our runners early doors an opportunity. And J-Joe had gone round. J-Joe's gone round. So this is what makes this track and these conditions such a fun thing to watch. J-Joe is out. J-Joe has crashed out. He has DNF'd under safety car conditions at the back of the pack. From glory to absolute turmoil in a little over a lap and a half for J-Joe. 9 laps of racing, which means we are going to get some DRS action. It's gone wet, dry, wet, dry. Jacobson's thrown on some soft tyres at the back of the field here. Is he going to be able to take those soft tyres 9 laps? They will be screaming blue murder at the end, no doubt. Right then. We're almost ready to go green. The safety car is just about to enter the pit lane. There it goes. It's entered the pit lane. Are we going to see Andy go fast, hard and quick? Or is he going to go very slowly around the corner? He does go very slowly around the corner.
All right, welcome to round 2 of the MRL No Assist Championship. I'm your host, Mark Mage, and joining me is Pat.
Hello.
And we've got another exciting race to look forward to. Hopefully one with a few less safety cars, because how many do we have last time? 6?
Yes, 6.
Yeah, way too many. For those who haven't noticed already, I did get a new microphone. I hope the voice quality has improved a little bit compared to last time. I mean, the last one was pretty good, but decided to upgrade a little. But of course, last time we were in Singapore, now we're in COTA, and I have to say, I'm really looking forward to this one and seeing how this entire race is going to play out.
Yeah, should be a good one.
Yeah, any predictions for what's going to
Uh,
happen?
well, I'm expecting at least a safety car. Expecting at least one because it's been a pretty big theme today. And I'm also gonna make a bold prediction right now. I'm gonna say Sugi will be on the podium.
I mean, that is quite bold.
It is.
I mean, he did manage to finish on the podium last time, right?
He got P2 last time.
Yeah, and then he got that 3-second time penalty right after he got in the lead. I mean, he's been able to contest for a win. Of course, that penalty and then losing out near the end was what ruined him. But I mean, he could fight for another win today.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure everybody has been feeling the Formula One drought as of late. It's been so bad that I've resorted to rewatching F1 2019, and now I'm catching up with IndyCar for the 23 season. I mean, I started watching the first race, and the two or three people I root for are Roman Grosjean, Pato O'Ward, and Colton Herta. So I got to say that starting top three was really great for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like the finishing three.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
You'll
But
like it.
yeah, I
You'll
mean,
like it.
I gotta say though, it's kind of cool seeing all the differences between the two. Like
Yeah.
logistically, IndyCar is so much more simple. Like, there's nothing too complex about it. Of course, all the same chassis, one of two engines, limited setups.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do enjoy the engineering side of Formula One way too much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But going into the next race, actually, we'll finally be returning to Formula One next week, and they're going to be heading to Baku, Azerbaijan.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and several teams are slated to get major upgrades. McLaren has been talking about their upgrade package since Bahrain. Mercedes and Ferrari supposedly are also bringing upgrade packages. And well, considering the vast size of this break, I doubt those are going to be the only teams. I think multiple teams are going to bring in upgrades. I think Red Bull is going to have a small upgrade. I think they mentioned something about a front wing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. From what I've seen, most everybody is getting an upgrade.
Yeah, and well, the question is, how is it going to shake up the entire field? I'm going to be honest, the one team I'm absolutely not confident in whatsoever is Atari in that regard.
Right.
Because, I mean, when the team principal has low confidence in his own engineers, that's a bit of a bad sign.
Yeah.
Apologies for the Discord pings that you guys are hearing. So we're going to be getting ready to go into qualifying in just a little bit. And well, it'll be very interesting to see how qualifying plays out this time in comparison to last time.
Yeah. There's definitely be. I hope it's dry for the driver's sake.
I mean, I'm okay with a little variety. Some dry, some
Yeah.
wet to really just change up the strategies because it's always fun to see how drivers are going to play out, whether it's going into the wet or getting out of the wet.
Yeah.
Because it's all about that timing, finding that sweet spot. You do it too early, and you're on slicks on a track that's too wet, you're going to lose a ton of time. But if you take too long, then the track is dried up, and you're also losing a ton of time. It's about finding that perfect balance.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd rather wait too long than go in too early because, again, slicks on a wet track, you're just asking to crash. Whereas entries on a dry
Hmm.
track, yeah, you're slower, but likelihood of crashing is much lower in comparison.
Right. I have just received word that Sugi will not be racing today, so I might need to pick someone else.
Yeah,
Ah, probably an easy pick, but I'm gonna have to go with the reigning defending undisputed champion to win again,
yeah.
which is one. Is he in here? Please tell me he's in here before I have to change it again.
He may not be in here.
I swear to God, I don't think he's in here.
Well,
No, he is. Chili's in there. Chili's in here.
yeah, I'm hedging my bets on Drunken Shamrock.
Drunken did good in T3 today. I got to see a lot of him while myself and Midnight were commentating that today.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a variety of strong drivers in here. Punchy should be joining in soon enough, and we'll be able to get it underway in just a little bit. With Formula One lately, things have been so dead and quiet. The most interesting thing that has come up this week was what Fernando Alonso is apparently hanging out with Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that just seems so strange. Like those are like two entirely different worlds, and then they're just interacting. It's supposedly they may be dating, but I don't know. I don't know about that.
Everything's been saying they've been dating, but
I'm honestly unsure about that, but um, one thing I will say though is it's gonna be really exciting when we do finally get to Baku. I mean, like I said before, with all the upgrades, but of course, a lot of drivers are gonna be just recovering after Australia, and well,
yeah.
yeah, plenty of them will have a point to prove, or others, Alpine, will be holding a grudge.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, I think McLaren can bounce back, especially with the leadership changes that they've had, which apparently have been planning out since the halfway point of last year. So they've already
Yeah.
been getting everything ready. Aston Martin, I think, is going to continue killing it for the rest of the
Yeah.
season. I expect Alonso to at least get one win
Right.
because, I mean, something could always happen to both Red Bulls. Like they accidentally take each other out, or they both have reliability issues. I mean, it seems out of all the teams, Aston Martin is the closest, but we can't count out Mercedes or Ferrari either. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the two of those teams, at least shown in Bahrain, struggle with tire degradation in comparison to the Aston.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to see because part of me is fully expecting a massive reshuffle at Baku, while it's also like, are we gonna get more of the same? So it's just a big batch of questions right now.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is a big batch of questions for sure. I mean, like I said before, one team I don't expect to be shuffling around except even further back is AlphaTauri. I
Yeah.
just I don't see any hope for them at all.
Right.
Like I think they are done until they finally just start taking more parts from Red Bull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it looks like
And
we're actually gonna get started.
yeah, it looks like we're finally getting underway at long last.
Yeah. Should we hit our talking points real quick?
Yeah, we'll go over the talking points real quick for an overview of the Circuit of the Americas. This is the first of two races here in the USA in this season. Now, the second race is, of course, Miami lining up with the real life event. And there's 7 blind corners here: 1, 9, 14, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So pretty much most of Sector 3 is blind. Turn 1 is also blind, but at the same time, you have such a wide berth there, so it isn't too bad. This is a very virtual safety car heavy track, but judging from what you said from the full safety cars, things could be quite different.
Yeah.
And while the drivers to watch, Chili, Sugi, and Summon, well, that's kind of awkward because Sugi is no longer able to race today, which is unfortunate. But we do have everybody else loading in as we're getting ready to go into the Circuit of the Americas. And this track is showing off the track map, over 5 kilometers long, 2 DRS zones. So there's plenty of opportunity for overtaking, but the amount of curves in sectors 1 and 3 can also make a vast difference. You definitely want a good balanced setup in order to make sure that your car remains stable. And of course, just getting a nice view of the track. I mean, you can see, especially in Sector 3, how proudly American this circuit is, and I kind of love it. And of course, the overview, the stadium section. This is going to be an exciting qualifying. Unfortunately, this preview is a little inaccurate, as the clouds are much more gloomy in comparison.
It looks like Pagoda's going to lead us out here today.
Yeah, it looks like it will. And yep, he's the only car on track right now, too. Everybody else is taking a little more time before they get going. Of course, the question I'm wondering is, will this overcast sky lead into rain going into the race? Or will it start raining midway through qualifying? And if so, then, well, they'll want to go ahead and get on track quickly and put in some lap times.
Well, I would say if there was a threat of rain, I feel like we would see a lot more cars on track than 3. If it was just about to rain.
Yeah.
So I think we'll have a dry session for at least a good amount of time as Pagoda goes way off the reservation.
Yeah, we have a few more coming out on track now. Yellow Snowman, Moo Irons is also out, along with Sako, Normbad, and Whipples. Actually, it doesn't look like Punju could even make it today, unfortunately. I don't see his name here.
I don't see it.
Is there a chance that he may be joining in just a little late?
Potentially.
Yellow flag in Sector 2 is coming from the Alfa Romeo Chili Willy, who's taking his sweet time through, so no major incident or anything. But that's not the case for Moo Irons, who just completely spun around.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a pretty big moment there from him.
Yeah. Not his shining moment.
Yeah, especially since he's not going to go on a lap, and that may have messed with his tires quite a bit as he's getting his lap started. Bugatti already gotten his lap started, going now through the S's here. And he let off of the gas quite a bit during there, really holding back. Takes it a little bit wide. I mean, I definitely think that he could go deeper if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have Chili Willy who's about to make his way through. He's got a bit of traffic ahead, but it gets out of the way, and you can see he takes this way more aggressively in comparison to Bugatti, and is already gaining much more time.
Yeah, definitely showing a lot more pace than Pagoda right now.
Yeah, and again, I think it's just down to the confidence. I think Bugatti is trying to be a little careful here while Chili Willy is just full spinning it. Oh, yeah, that was way too deep. That's going to be a lap invalidation for him. Yeah, he went completely through the curve. But that's Anthony Jenkins in the Mercedes off the track in the start of Sector 2, it looks like. Well, he's going to have to get out of the way of his teammate who's making his way through. And interestingly, Jato's the only driver out on medium tires, and that's a really strange choice for a short qualifying.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy. We'll see how it pays off for him, which I don't think it will do too well
No, I don't think it'll work out too
Form.
well. We got it's a lap time of 1 minute 41, and so far we haven't had anybody else who can get to that time yet. That is because a lot of them keep invalidating or just having little issues.
Right. Oh,
But
and Irons just goes 37.6.
yeah, and that's already yeah, 4 seconds ahead of Uganda. That's a solid difference in lap times there. We
Yeah.
still have a few others. Whiffle invalidated on his run. Moldy Dragon is just getting started as he's making his way down the back straight. That wasn't the greatest getaway. The old Snowman now sets the best time on 136.1.
Yeah, that's a good lap. We're gonna see times more into the 34s and 33s soon. These are not the fastest laps.
Absolutely.
Trying to see who else is on a lap right now. Freebird's finishing one. He's gonna go to a 38.2. Sure, that's not what he would prefer.
Moldy Dragon is making his way through the final 2 corners to finish up his lap. Let's see how he compares to his teammate.
That's pretty well.
Benzo gets ahead, but Moldy Dragon is going to be behind his teammate in P8.
Yep. But he's got plenty of time to fix that lap.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have Peter going through on his run, and he's definitely holding back a little in comparison to the run his teammate was having.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, so JoJo's invalidated on his run. His teammate is not too far behind, but unfortunately too far behind to get any potential tow or slipstream. But still, if JoJo doesn't get out of the way, that could pose a bit of an issue. But JoJo does a good job to not get in the way of his teammate.
Very nice job indeed.
Meanwhile, Peter makes his way through. That's potential purple sector 2, although maybe in comparison to... Well, actually, no, that would be a potential purple sector 2. We'll see if that is correct or if the game is just bugging, which could also very well be possible.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's a Red Bull spinning out right in front of him. That actually didn't impact as much. Oh, but he loses it entirely. He spoke too soon. Looks like that his lap time completely ruined. That was on for a pretty solid run at minimum.
It was. That's probably another instance of commentator's curse there, Mage.
Oh yeah. I cursed what, 5 different people?
Too many people.
Yeah, just absolute horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile we have JoJo going through on his flying lap, of course. He's already burned through all of his ERS, so I don't really see the point. Unless he's just trying to save up ERS, but he isn't doing any of that, really. So is he just gonna make his way around and go into the pit for some stops, or...?
Don't know. I don't really know what the strategy call is for him right now.
Meanwhile, we have Evan Wins making his way through the S's, and he went through very rapidly. Now heading up to the next set of turns, going nice and wide, taking up plenty of curve. Now, these cars typically do not like to go on the curve very much, but this track is one of the few exceptions, as well as Imola. But on many other tracks, you go on the curves, and that's basically instant death.
Yep. I mean, you can also go on the curbs at Monaco.
Well, yeah, that's true, but, I mean, there isn't much room for anything else there, so...
No, you kind of have to.
Yeah, I am glad we are not at Monaco this season.
Yeah.
Oh, and that is... Oh, JoJo's spun out as he's trying to go into the pit. That doesn't sound okay. But he's now into the pit. Drunken Shamrock, meanwhile, is continuing on his run. He's already burned through about half his ERS, but seemingly set a purple sector too. Let's see how he nails this final sector. And he's got to get out of the way of a little bit of traffic. Chili Willy now sets a blistering time of 134.5. Absolutely brilliant. We saw that he did have pace until he, of course, unfortunately invalidated. Well, Truck and Shamrock
Yeah.
may be able to challenge, and we'll see as he's rounding the final corner. Can the McLaren get onto the front row or even higher? He does get onto the front row. Unfortunately not pulled. Still, that is a brilliant effort.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have Epic Wins, who is slowly getting ready for a flying lap as he's got a Mercedes behind him, it looks like. I know that is a Mercedes. That's a Williams, actually.
Williams.
Yeah, yes, that's Whipples, who just went through
Ah,
and took
yes.
P3.
Not a bad lap at all from Whiffles there.
Yeah, it's so easy to mess up the indicators for the Red Bull because they're so similar in color, it's legitimately infuriating.
Gary puts himself P7.
Yeah, and then you have the Alpines in there, and that just makes it even worse, although their blue is a little lighter. So
Yeah.
we can see that the grid is really starting to stack up. Epic wins, definitely put in the lap that he was not happy with, which is why he's going for another one right now. Or that may have just simply counted his out lap as a lap, which wouldn't make too much sense. But he's going on his flyer now. Balam is also on a flyer, not too far ahead, just exiting the main straight, and that is Epic Wins' teammate spinning out. Bugatti is struggling right now.
Yeah, not the greatest showing from yet, but it's still early and it's just qualifying right now. No points handed out just yet.
Yeah, Hit My Axe, meanwhile, is unfortunately he's invalidated his lap. So at the same time it's going down that straight. His teammate is a little further up ahead, but he's off to the side, letting by his teammate and the car chasing behind him being Bugatti.
Yep.
We got his teammate Epic Wins is about to round the final corner. Let's see where he can stack up. I think it's going to be a solid time, potentially top 10. And yes, it is. He puts himself 6 overall.
What a major time drop, just about 40 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, if 215 was truly his best, I would be absolutely appalled.
If it was 215, even I could beat him.
I mean, only 215, F2 cars could beat him, realistically.
Probably the F1 Academy cars could beat it.
And I don't know about the F1 Academy. I mean, because
we'll see.
Those are equivalent to F3 cars, really.
I still think they can do a lap at 215. Quicker than a 215.
Moon Midnight is finding a ton of improvement. He's already over half a second up. That improvement could put him potentially P7. If he continues its rate of improvement, though, we could see him in the top 5. Now,
Looking
rounding
nice
the
and
final
tight.
2 corners. Oh yeah, he's looking quite solid, quite comfortable. And I think this time it's going to be quite comfortable enough to put himself into the top 10. Unfortunately, I think he may have lost a little bit of time in that final sector, but still, that's a good improvement.
Looks like we have Baloma on a lap. Finishing up.
Yeah, he's actually down on his time.
Oh.
And he's making
Yeah,
his
he's
way into
boxing.
the pits. Meanwhile, Anthony Jenkins is on a flyer. He's up over, 6/10 up? This is going to be a massive improvement. This is going to put him only ahead of one car, however. Unless he finds even more time, he could find himself ahead of Peter and into the top 5. Alfa Romeo is looking quite good right now. But I think we could see a Mercedes taking out one of the Alfa Romeos in the top 5 and inserting himself in that position. We'll see as he rounds the final corner to cross the line. He manages to put himself 5th overall indeed, just a little bit ahead of Peter.
Yeah. I will say right now, as we have a second, I'm a little surprised that Epic wins. In T3 today, he did a 33.7. And he's down there at a 36.3. So maybe get more pace?
I mean, I think there is a possibility, but with all the no assists, drivers, of course, will have to hold back a little bit more. They can't get away with the same things. And so, it's all about pushing it and trying to get as close as you can to those times. But of course, again, it's always at risk. You go a little bit too hard, and next thing you know, your car is going straight on into the nearest wall.
Right. else is all up? Is that Axe going to improve? No.
Well, he's getting started on a flying lap just now, or at least it seems that way. He's already burned through over half a DRS, so if he's something to flyer.
Normbash almost up half a second.
Oh, and that's the McLaren Drunken Shamrock. Looks like he's getting ready to go on a flyer right now. We have a little over 3 minutes remaining in qualifying, so it's going to be important to find out all the improvement you can. Whipples, however, seemed to have a bit of a struggle through those corners, and where he was a little bit ahead, I think he's lost way more time. Only Dragon,
Normbash
meanwhile,
goes 8th.
yeah, oh yeah, he is. So right now in the top 10, we have 3 full teams: McLaren, Ferrari, and Alfa Romeo. The rest are filled up by individual drivers, but we have the Red Bull pair and the Aston Martin pair not too far behind. Multi-Dragon is finding plenty of improvement at the moment. And I spoke too soon. He immediately spun as I said that. Multi-Dragon, I apologize. That was the purest example of commentator's curse I've ever seen in my life. Oh, man. Whipples is running relatively even with his previous time. So I think he's either going to full send it through the final couple corners, or he's going to go in. Looks like he is going to cross the line. Can he find enough improvement and get into the top 3? He did find improvement. If he just had a little bit more time, he would be in that top 3. Still a very good effort. But I don't know if he's going to have enough time remaining to go on another run. Yeah, no, he won't. So that's pretty much the end of Whipple's qualifying. That's going to be P4. That is, unless one of the drivers behind him can beat his time.
Oh, and Whipple spins.
That's unfortunate. Well, let's hope he's not in the way of anybody. He's almost on the racing line. He does well to get out of the way of the Alpine. Not Epic wins, but rather his teammate COTA going on a new flying lap. He's already over half a second up through sector 1. If he can continue this rate of improvement, he can gain quite a few places. Drunken Shamrock, meanwhile, goes across the line and takes pole position over half a second quicker than Chili Willy, who's also on a flyer. Unfortunately for Drunken Shamrock, though, his teammate is all the way down in P10 and has retired in the pits. So Moving Knight's best start is going to be P10, but could very well be beaten. And we have one driver who's only a little bit off in comparison and getting ready to go on a flyer himself. All he needs is a mere 5 thousandths, and he's ahead.
Yep.
Oh, well. Never mind. That's the end of its qualifying. That's it.
Never mind, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, that never happened. Just cut it and post edit.
There you go. Balloon looks like he's finishing up.
New Irons is getting started. Balloon is finishing up, and he put himself P9.
He stayed. He was RP9.
Well, that's fortunate because he just gained a 10 to be ahead. And that's Peter who just crossed the line, put himself P2 and ahead of his teammate. But his teammate is on the flyer himself. New Irons has retired.
Epic is on the grass.
Well, that is not an epic moment for Epic wins.
Epic just crashed into Irons.
That happened already. That just happened. Meanwhile, Anthony Jenkins is going through on flying lap. He's gained some extra time in sector 1, but he's still almost a second down in comparison to the drivers ahead of him. Chili Willy, meanwhile, if he can just gain some time in sector 3, he could beat his teammate in qualifying, but there is still a solid gap. Chili Willy was behind a little bit compared to his sector 2 time. And
he's invalid.
Yeah, he went too wide there, and that's going to cost him a potential front row start. And while that would have been enough, absolutely, but going too wide is what ruined him there.
Yeah. I'm more surprised that actually Yellow Snowman stayed in the pits instead of doing a final run.
It looks like that's pretty much qualifying decided. Everybody else either invalidated.
Anthony's on final run.
Well, Anthony. Oh yeah, he is. Well, we'll see. He's a little bit behind, actually, in comparison to his previous times. but he crossed the line and stays 6th, despite improving by a solid amount.
Yeah.
Qualifying decided, looks like I chose well to bet on Drunken Shamrock. He's currently on pole. But we have Peter and Chili Willy right behind, and that's really bad news for the McLaren driver because, you got two teammates. So if they potentially get ahead, whoever is in the lead has a rear gunner.
Right.
And well, we saw how effective that was IRL with the Mercedes duo, Hamilton and Bottas, which, yeah.
Yeah. It looked like JJ was playing the qualifying ban game.
Well, knowing JJ, he would most likely say something along the lines of, "It's fine, I was sandbagging, and I'm gonna absolutely dominate the race. I'm gonna make the best comeback drive ever."
I mean, we'll see.
And we will see soon enough. Looks like everybody's finished. We're just waiting for the last driver to retire, and that's it. Drunken Shamrock taking a brilliant pole position, a few tenths ahead of the next car, the two Alfa Romeos, Peter and Chili Willy. And again, the differences aren't too drastic there. Yellow Snowman and the Ferrari will be joining Chili Willy on the second row, followed up by Whipples and Anthony, Epic Wins and Normbash, Balam and Move Midnight, Benzo and Gary, Free Bird and Moldy Dragon, Moo Irons and Sako, Kiss My Axe, Bugata, and J-Jo starting from the very back.
I'm
Now,
gonna see if anyone got a penalty. No. No pens.
Now, qualifying, of course, is not decided, but now we're going to get ready to go into the race. And while the big thing about COTA, by far, is the run to turn 1, lap 1. So, what do you expect to happen there?
Say again, sorry, you broke up on my end.
Oh, the run down to turn 1, lap 1 in COTA, what do you think is going to happen?
Utter mayhem, if I'm being completely honest. Especially with no assist, with guys not knowing really with having ABS off, we could see a lot of log-ups and a big collision.
Oh, yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, but it could happen.
There's plenty of room to go around. I think you can potentially go even 3, maybe even 4 wide at the start of turn 1. By the end, of course, you won't be able to get away with that, especially going into the S's immediately after that.
I've seen people go 6 wide on that front straight.
Yeah, there are some people who are crazy enough to do it, but typically it ends in
It doesn't
disaster.
end well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't end well at all.
Well, let's just hope we don't see a repeat of the IRL COTA race last year where, the torpedo occurred.
Yep. Here we go.
Yep, here we go. Sorry about that. I completely clicked the wrong screen there. There we go. Immediately to turn 1. Peter is going to find himself in the lead. Yellow Snowman, though, got a brilliant start. But it looks like the Alfa Romeo's got a little bit held up there. Chili Willy is now going to try and pass his teammate going into turn 3, I think. Yeah, turn 3. Already off to a very hectic start. Yellow Snowman, though, he's on the soft tires. Just a bit of a gamble, but he's trying to maximize it as much as he can. Unfortunately, though, he hasn't gained any spots. For a moment, it seemed like he did, but now he's back down in 4th. Meanwhile, looks like Molly Dragon has got past Benzo Slice and up into 13th place. Braver getting past Kicks My Axe, using the soft tires to his advantage. Moo Irons getting ahead of Bugata, and J-Jo is already up to P10. Absolutely incredible! And now he's about to be P9 as he's going to overtake Sako going into the end of the back straight. Is he going to try and send it on Normbash? I don't think he will. He definitely considered it there for a moment.
Oh, Lord.
J-Jo has no fear whatsoever, and it's paying off massively for him. He's already up into the points positions. Meanwhile, looks like Yellow Snowman is trying to go around the outside of Drunken Shamrock, maybe trying to do a switchback. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the traction to make that happen.
Also, Chili's winning by 1.5 seconds, and it's only lap 1.
Yes, he is on the medium tires, his teammate on the hards, but I would say this places the team's hands overall, because, I mean, one of these strategies is correct. We'll see which one turns out to be right. Drunken Shamrock is gonna try to make a move on the outside. Peter going deep on the inside to try and cover it. Drunken Shamrock, though, is gonna switch back, and he's gonna immediately make his way into second place. A brilliant move.
Yeah, epic wins also got by Anthony Jenkins there while you were doing that. Good move by him down to turn 1 on the inside.
Yeah, it looks like that hard tire isn't panning out too well for Peter at the moment. Now under pressure from Yellow Snowman. He can see he's watching, waiting for an opportunity, and he's definitely going to send it to the next corner. Going on the inside, can the Ferrari get ahead? Braking even later than him. Oh, Peter tried to keep around the outside, and I think it may have just paid off. Looks like he got a bit of better traction on the exit, but all of this is allowing Whipples to now join in on the action, making his way in between the two Ferrari-powered cars. Can he get ahead of both, potentially? Is he going to send it? No, he's going to back out. Wise move.
A bit of lockup from Snowman, and it's going to leave Whiffles with a great opportunity.
And he's going around the outside now. Can he complete the move? It's going to be incredibly close between the two, but I think Whipples might have it. Peter is going to have an advantage. They almost come together. What incredible racing we're witnessing right now. Whipples, though, unfortunately has to relinquish. Never mind, Peter just completely spun out. Oh! And that is Peter out of the race. Who collided with him?
I think it was Moldy Dragon. I think that's going to be a safety car. It's a VSC.
That's so unfortunate for Moldy Dragon. He had a pretty solid start, but I think he may have suffered some damage. We may not see it, but he could very well have front wing damage. But yeah, that is a full safety car.
No, it's a VSC.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, VSC.
Really? A car crashed and it's almost in the middle of the track and that's a VSC? Okay.
It was actually off track. I took a look at Moldy's POV. I mean, I don't mind it. We still get the race done fairly quickly compared to last week.
Oh yeah, I mean, but still, what fantastic racing we saw. Oh, and the VSC is already over. Well, that was quick. No
need for a caution, just go. Just go.
They were just like, it's fine. We swept it off to the side. It's all good. It's a problem solved. Unfortunately, Epic Wind's gonna have a problem to deal with, and his name is Anthony Jenkins, already on the heels. J-Jo just behind, trying to overtake his teammate. J-Jo is having a brilliant run right now. Absolutely incredible.
Keep going, J-Jo. You're invincible. They can't get you.
I mean, he certainly thinks he is, as he's about to challenge his teammate for P6. Make that P5 as he's going to go on the inside of Epic Wins. Unfortunately, he wasn't close enough still. Wow. That was incredibly brave of him. But, well, there is a fine line between bravery and foolishness. And, well, that was very close to going over that line.
It was very close, but it was almost brilliant if he got it to work.
Yeah, J-Jo's having brilliant pace right now. If he keep this up, he could potentially be contested for a podium at this rate.
Yeah. He had terrible luck earlier today. He was on pole in T2 and got turned at T1.
Yeah, speaking of turn, looks like Moo Iron's got himself turned around, going through the exact same turn that Peter did.
Yeah, luckily it looks like there's no damage, though.
Yeah, meanwhile, the gap is just increasing up at the front. You can see that Drunken Shamrock is finding even more time in comparison to Yellow Snowman. And I think it's just a sign the softs just die off very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can run well for 6 laps, but they lose pace after really 2, if not 3.
Yeah, I think that gamble did not pay off for Yellow Snowman. He is going to have to pit soon enough, but unless he can really start making some time up, this strategy is going to cost him. Meanwhile, we have multiple drivers going extremely wide, going into the back straight.
Yeah, everyone's exploring how far track limits can go.
Yeah, Yellow Flag in Sector 2.
Is that Pagoda?
Oh, this Moldy Dragon. He's going
no, it's Axe.
Bugatti.
It's Axe. Axe went off.
Bugatti. Moldy Dragon is going to put himself ahead of the Alpine up into 13th place. Unfortunately, though, the next car is a little under 9 seconds ahead of him. So he's got quite a bit of a gap to make up.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
something's
Epic
happened. Epic
wins!
wins! Oh, that is not an epic win for Epic Wins. He's completely lost at the exact same corner as Peter. We've seen multiple spins here, and I'm afraid that won't be the last.
I believe Epic Wins found the term Spinala in Alpine.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you can see the gap is increasing between Drunken Shamrock and Yellow Snowman. These dogs are really not paying off for him right now. As
No.
Whipple's, I think, is actually starting to gain on him despite being on the hards.
If I had to guess, I think Snowman's gonna box at the end of lap 6 and go hards to the end, which can work and is a decent strategy.
Yeah, meanwhile, it looks like Anthony Jenkins overtook his teammate. Jato must have had a bit of a moment.
Oh, JJ must have, because he caught right back up, and we have a crash. Normbash.
Oh, the Stormbash going wide, and doesn't look like he has any damage. No, his car is still relatively intact. It is unless, of course, he got underfloor damage, which could very well be possible. Meanwhile, we have Jato gaining on Anthony. Is he going to find a way past? Yes, he will. He's going to be able to make his way back up into 5th and start hunting after Whipples.
Yeah, earlier than that, JJ had a journey well off the track after the hairpin, as most drivers have been doing in this race thus far. But Chile now has a 3-second lead over Drunken Shamrock, which is just massive. What we got?
We've got
I mean, the
Anthony
main
once
bell
again gaining. Looks like we're going to see just a full-on battle between the two Mercedes, but I think Gary is going to want to join in on the action soon enough.
That was a bit of a lockup there from Anthony. See if Gary can close his way up.
Now, that's Bugatti losing a position to the law, but we already see multiple drivers with penalties. And I think most of it has to do with, looks like corner cutting and track limits for Balam. Stocko has retired from the session, and I think he's done
In
so in
the
the
pits?
pits. Yep. So that's going to be no safety car or anything of that matter. But
No, it'll be a red flag. What you mean?
oh, this Molly
No.
Dragon spinning out, and that's unfortunate. It's a lot of time lost. Meanwhile, Balam is going to try and make it back. Meanwhile, the two Mercedes are continuing to duke it out. JJ remaining ahead while trying to gain on Whipples, but him having to fight his teammates holding him back. But looks like Anthony James is another battle to deal with. Gary is trying to send it on the Mercedes and find a way through. And now, because of all this battling, Benzo is also joining up behind.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of impressive. We see a lot of gaps building, but also a lot of good battling as
Freebird!
Yeah, Freebird has lost it in Sector 3 as well. Not at the exact same area as others, but still, he's going to have to try and pick himself back up. Unfortunately, though, he's going to lose a couple more positions in doing so.
Yeah. Looks like Epic Wins is back in the points after his spin.
As long as he maintains that consistency and doesn't spin it again, he should be able to finish with a solid points finish. But of course, it's about maintaining that control.
Yeah. You're exactly right.
You can see Gary really starting to gain on the two Mercedes now. Jato having a little bit of a moment going off the track. We have 3 drivers going 3 wide into the next turn. They take each other out. All 3 are out of the race.
That's going to be a safety car.
What just happened there?
They are in the wall. That is a full safety car. They are fully in the wall as I'm looking at Anthony's.
Is miraculously still intact, but I guarantee he has severe damage. What happened there?
I have no idea. But I mean, this is saving everyone in the back, especially if your name is Kiss My Axe.
What I
You're
think
22 seconds off the car ahead.
Yeah, what I think may have happened was the Mercedes that was on the left thought only the Haas was next to him and not his teammate, and so turned right, and all three of them just ended up colliding and going to the wall. Bugatti gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car.
Well, you forgot to
And
check
he
your.
spins out to
They're
boot.
pitting. They're pitting up front.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. Rocket Shamrock, though, interesting choice to go on the mediums. I mean, I think they can make it, but he's going to be suffering from pace issues by the end. Yellow Snowman is pitting, and he did well to hold on. He's also going on the medium tire.
Right now in the front, Chili's the only one who can go to the end.
Yeah, I don't think the mediums can realistically make it that far. They must be gambling on a late safety car. Still, Chili Willy, I mean, he's had impressive pace. So I think he should be able to handle himself just fine. And he almost overtakes the safety car. Anthony Jenkins retires in the pits, and I do think that's because his damage was just far too severe to continue. A disappointing day for both Mercedes and Haas.
I think I know what Drunken is gambling on, and it's not a bad. Oh, Anthony just retired.
Yeah, like I mentioned, when that big collision with his teammate and Gary, I do think the damage he got was just so severe that he couldn't realistically continue.
Yeah. But what I think Drunken's going for is Pagoda also retired.
Well,
Pagoda retiring for?
He had a drive-through penalty, and so I think he just thought, you know what, I'm going to cut my losses, and I'm just going to be done with it for tonight. You know, I'm just going to take this L. Chili Willy, meanwhile, is just harassing the safety car.
He really is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's saying, hurry up, man, but, I mean, you know, the safety car can only go so fast, and
that's also job to bunch everyone back up, so it's not going to.
Oh yeah, and I mean, honestly, by regular car standards, that Aston Martin is a very impressive machine, but in comparison to an F1 car, oh boy, yeah, it's practically nothing.
But what I think Drunken is doing, if no one else retires, I can actually finish this sentence. He's gambling on another safety car later on, so he can box for another set of mediums since he start on the hards and go to the end on those.
Yeah, it's been very hectic thus far, in a good way. Well, that is until the Mercedes
Just
moment
recently
happened, yeah. But hopefully once we get back to racing, we'll see some very, very tight competition like we did before.
I just noticed this mage. Balome is on softs.
Yeah, but he also has a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, these are fresh softs, but that is quite a bit of a gamble. I mean, the soft tires at any point during a race like this is a gamble. Now, if he can make up plenty of positions, then sure, that'll pay off well. But obviously, these tires are not going to make it to the end. He's going to have to pit eventually. But it's all about making this tire count and maximizing the pace. Because if you can't do that, then it's a wasted effort and the gamble fails.
Yeah. I mean, at this track, I would say it's not really a gamble if you're doing it at the very end of the race after a safety car.
Of course. If it's near the end of the race, soft tire is not a bad option at all, but we're not even halfway yet.
Not even halfway at all.
Yeah, I definitely think that's quite a bit of a risk. We're barely a third of the way through right now.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I want to take a look at positions. Actually, Irons is a big winner.
Yeah, absolutely. So is Benzo. He's over to the podium places right now, but I don't think it'll be for very long because he's got Yellow Snowman and Whipples right behind on fresh medium while he's on used cards. Honestly, not a bad idea for him to stay out. Not at all. Honestly, if there is a safety car later on, that could pay off massively in Benzo's favor.
Right.
And we have Kiss My Axe almost caught up, and I was about to say that was going to happen. Yep, race control confirmed. Safety car is going to be in this lap, so we will be able to resume some good hard racing. Hopefully not too hard, though.
Yep. I mean, if it's good, clean racing, then it's fine. If we have a Mercedes moment like we did earlier, maybe not.
still very, very exciting racing right now. JJo has fully left the session now. I imagine quite disappointed after what happened. So Chili Willy is going to be the one leading them off. Can he
He's
jump
going.
them well? Honestly, not very well at all. Jumpin' Shamrock is keeping up just fine. And he's going to be burning all the ERS he has at the moment to maybe find a way past. Unfortunately, that isn't possible for him. The gap from everybody is a little too wide at the moment, with the one exception. Moldy Dragon may attempt to move on the inside of Freebird, but no, he actually just remains behind for the moment, but might have an opportunity to go around the outside of turn 2. Can he get ahead of the Red Bull? No, he can't. He's going to have to back out before the S's. Meanwhile, Chili Willy gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, this is huge, absolutely huge, and potentially race ruining for him, as Drunken Shamrock is keeping up just fine. We saw before that a 3-second penalty can easily come back to bite you at the end. And I think it's going to do the same for Chili. Yellow Snowman is going to try and find a way past Benzo, but being on the inside line, he's going to struggle along the exit. Benzo remains ahead for the moment, but I think Yellow Snowman may attempt another send. He's thinking about it, but decides to remain behind for the time being. Now, the same can be said for Moldy Dragon, and he's right alongside Freebird, now putting himself ahead of the Red Bull up into 9th place. At least would think that, because Freebird is still in on this fight, as he actually backs out. Never mind. Well, that's mildly disappointing. And speaking of disappointing moves, Irons had a disappointing spin there. He's all the way down into P13.
Unlucky for Irons today. He's just not having a great race. Oh,
Yeah.
and there's Axe.
Yet again, another driver who has completely lost it around turns 17 and 18. It seems a very easy spot to just completely get a bit
Midnight.
Oh, Midnight, yeah, he had a big moment around the final corner as well. Meanwhile, the Shamrock is now on the heels of Chili, and I don't think DRS is enabled just yet, but Yellow Snowman has gotten a time penalty as well. I think if this continues to stack up, some drivers are going to pay dearly by the end.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but we did see a lot of corner cutting penalties or track limit penalties this week.
Oh yeah, well, it's just the nature of this track. I mean, the track limits are so tight here. Ironically, though, at a lot of other, in a lot of other racing series like NASCAR and Indy, track limits don't exist here for the most part.
Especially NASCAR around here.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was a big moment from Chili. That's going to give Drunken Shamrock an opportunity to go on the offensive. Can he find a way past the Alfa Romeo? No, he can't, but he's going to try switch back on the inside going to the next corner. Is he ahead? No, he's not. He has to remain behind. But looks like Benzo has lost out to both Whippled and Yellow Snowman. As I mentioned before, that tire difference did cost him a couple positions. Still, P5 is a great place to be at the moment, and if he continues to hold on and the late safety car occurs, this could play right into his hands.
Yep.
And here we go, DRS is now enabled. Drunken Shamrock will not have it right away, as you can see, but he will have it down the back straight as long as he keeps within that second range. He's been doing so thus far, and so I think he'll have a great opportunity to overtake down that back straight.
It is, and it's a nice long DRS zone, so you don't have to be right up against the car in order to get moved done. But Chili is so much faster than Drunken through here.
Yeah, he just has so much more confidence through the S's of Sector 1 in comparison to Drunken Shamrock, just in general. We saw that during qualifying, and we're seeing it once again during the race. Meanwhile, Epic wins. It's in a little bit of a tight spot, as he has not one, not two, but 4 cars chasing right behind him.
Yeah, he's not in the greatest spot right now. We'll see what he can do from there. But looks like Drunken might get a move done here.
Absolutely sending it. He's alongside the Alfa Romeo. Can he outbrake him going into the next corner? Yes, he can. He's now into the lead. But Chili, he's trying to potentially fight back. Unfortunately, he just didn't have it in that corner and has to back out.
Yeah. Looks like Norbash almost sent around the outside and Balone there.
Yeah, Moldy Dragon is in a potential danger zone, I guess you could say, because he's got now 4 or 5 drivers behind. Moo Midnight, meanwhile, overtakes Moo Irons, and while you can see why, it looks like he spun out again.
Yep, Irons going from good to bad, back to good, back to bad again, and Drunken goes fastest.
But Chili Willie's going to go for it. He's going to try and retake the lead going into turn 1, but he's going to be struggling on exit, allowing Drunken Shamrock to make a switchback. Can he find himself ahead by the time he gets to the exit, or are they going to continue fighting side by side? Drunken Shamrock gets a time penalty, and
Oh,
now
he's well
we're on
off
an
the
even
track.
playing field. Yeah, he had to completely slow down and back out. Did that give him another penalty? No, it didn't. So they're still on an even playing field, and now Chili Willie has every reason to continue fighting. However, as they're continuing to fight, it's allowing Whipples to slowly but surely close the gap, with Yellow Snowman chasing not too far behind even.
You're exactly right there, Mage. And it looked like Drunken, when he completely cut the course, he might have gotten a
Moo Irons
illegal
is out.
overtake. Oh, safety car!
Yep, Moo Irons crashed out. Looks like he got oversteer out of turn 1 and crashed into the wall. That's going to be a full safety car, which could be great news for Benzo. This is a perfect opportunity for him to go into the pits, and, well, I think Balam needs to go into the pits himself.
Yeah, this is also a good time for those medium members to box for another set, because a new pair of mediums will make it to the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A new set of mediums will make it to the end, no problem. I wouldn't be surprised if most drivers decide to pit, though. And I think some could stay out, but it would be a bit of a gamble. I wouldn't be surprised.
Chili could, but the mediums would be so much faster.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be worth it. If he has a spare set of mediums, well, if all these drivers have a spare set of mediums, I think they're all going to go for it.
Debating, and Drunken goes in, but Chili stays out.
I don't know, though, with the widest move from Chili, that may cost him later on.
Yep, Whiffles comes in as well. Yellow stays out. I'm a little surprised by that with Yellow Snowman.
He must be gambling on a little later safety car and pitting then. Benzo is going to choose to stay out, surprisingly.
Yep.
That would have been a perfect opportunity to pit. Balon certainly thinks so, as he just went in.
He needed to.
Yeah, he absolutely needed to. Freebird, however, is going to like to stay out as well. Moo Midnight, though, will go in. Kiss My Axe, a little bit further behind. I think he'll decide to pit. It wouldn't be a bad idea whatsoever. He certainly thinks so as
coming
well.
in. That should be in our set of mediums.
No.
I'm not surprised, though, with Freebird, Epic, and Chili all deciding to stay out. I'll say that right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it looks like JJ wants to join in for an interview.
I can make that happen.
Yeah. Let's get him in here.
Alright, where is Jojo? Alright, let's get him in here.
Hey, Jojo, can you hear me?
He appears to be muted. There he is. There he is.
Yeah, an unfortunate event that occurred there. Looks like you were fighting between the Haas and the Mercedes. Were you on the inside or the outside in that moment?
I was on the very outside.
Oh, okay. Well, from the perspective that we saw, it seemed that your teammate didn't notice that you were on the right side of the Haas, and so thought that there was enough space for 2 cars, not knowing that you were there as well. Unfortunately, that triggered a collision, basically taking all 3 out of the race. But I have to say, though, up until that point, you were very impressive. I mean, you started last, and by the halfway point of lap 1, you were P9. And I think at the rate you were going, you maybe could have even gotten the podium. Disappointing, but you certainly showed the plenty of pace. So, how do you feel with all that?
I mean, To put the note on the collision, I think the collision happened because Gary forced it 3 wide. Tawan didn't be in there, and then like them two made contact straight into me. But yeah, I had pace. I just screwed up every quali lap I did, invalidated 3 out of 3. But I knew the pace was there, and in the race I just used it. But yeah, I was flying on track compared to the others.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive pace, and hopefully we'll see you around for the next round when we go to Azerbaijan next week.
Wait, Azerbaijan's next?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you checked the calendar?
Yeah.
No, it's Hungary, Mage.
Really, it is?
It's Hungary.
It is Hungary. Really? I thought... Okay.
No.
I thought
Miami's the one they're following.
Oh, okay, Miami is the one they're following. Okay, well, it would have been Azerbaijan if it lined up exactly, but I mean, hey, Hungary's still a great track, even though
Hungary's a great track.
I personally despise driving on it, but it's a great track for racing.
The one track I'm better than you at.
No, I got a podium.
I'm better than you at Hungary though.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next game when we both decide to drive again. All right, thank you for your time, JJ, but we're about to get back underway.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so Chili and Yellow Semi are going to be leading them off, but of course they both have a time penalty, 3 seconds, so does Drunken Shamrock. So Benzo and Epic Wins could potentially be in a good position if they can keep up with the rest. But
Benzo has to pit.
Yeah, Chili Willie's crossing the line now, and he's gonna be maintaining his lead, but he didn't make the fast getaway.
Epic's out!
Well, that was over real quick. Epic Wins is unfortunately out of the race. Did he just completely lose it, or did he
Yes, he spun.
Oh, that's incredibly unfortunate. Meanwhile, we have plenty of action going on here. Moldy Dragons is trying to find his way around the outside of Whipples. Can he put himself into P5? Yes, he does. A brilliant move as Freebird completely loses it and spins out. Now, that was a very gutsy move from Moldy Dragon, and it absolutely paid off. He's up into P5 now. If he can just maintain this pace and hold on until the end, he's going to have a great result on his hands, especially if he keeps up with the 3 drivers ahead of him, who, of course, are all stricken with penalties. Benzo, unfortunately, simply due to the strategy he's on, will be out as he hasn't yet hit. He needs to. But you can see Drunken Shamrock already finding himself ahead, and now he's going to try and gain on Chili and Yellow. So, this is going to be interesting. All the top 3 have time penalties.
Yeah.
So, and well, of course, they're all going to be fighting each other for the win. But if they continue fighting each other, then the cars behind start to catch up. And that means the more they fight, the more it could potentially cost all of them a podium place.
Yeah. Normbash just got by Balone there on those brand new medium tires.
Yeah, looks to be paying off for him quite well. Midnight, meanwhile, is trying his best to catch up with the rest of the field. You can see Whipple potentially trying to make that move back on Moldy Dragon as he's attempting to catch up. Freebird looks like he had a bit of a moment in Sector 3.
Indeed. Looks like we got a battle here for the... What's this? Battle for 4th? 3-way fight for 4th with Benzo, Moldy, and Whiffles.
Yeah, it looks like... I do think Moldy Dragon has more pace simply because he's on fresher, faster tires, same pace flying the Whiffles. So Benzo is going to have to do his best to try and defend. Unfortunately, I think that tire difference is going to prove to be his worst enemy. Speaking of, Moldy Dragon manages to put himself around the outside.
Getting by.
Yeah, brilliant brave overtakes from the both of them. Benzo is unfortunately now down to P6. And, well, he's inevitably going to have to pit. But Moldy Dragon goes wide, allowing Whipples to find a way through. But still, Moldy Dragon is still in this fight. He's going to use plenty of ERS. He's going to go which way, inside or outside? Looks like he couldn't decide there. And he's not going to be able to find a way past. Drunken Shamrock, though, gets past Yellow Snowman and up into P2. Now, there's only one car between him and the lead, and his name is Chili Willy. but maybe not for long. Drunken Shamrock is trying to find a way past, but simply can't do it at the moment. So that tire advantage is going to be a factor.
For a moment, it looked like Drunken was not going to wait around to get that move done, but decided against it, which was probably the smart move there.
No, yeah, absolutely. There is definitely a risk when it comes to overtaking at that particular zone, especially when you're that far back. But it's fine. That patience is going to pay off for Drunken Shamrock now. He's got plenty of pace to go alongside the Alfa Romeo. Going to turn 1, can Drunken Shamrock take the lead of the race? Unfortunately, I don't think he's got the pace on the exit. Chili Willy has managed to get the better of him for the time being, but you can see Drunken Shamrock nearly touching his rear left wheel. That was a bit of a moment, to put it mildly. You can see Low Snowman also keeping him just behind.
Yeah, that was very close indeed. As a reminder, everyone, we were on simulation damage, so that could have ended very badly.
The Midnight now gets a time penalty as well, and with all of their squabbling, Whipples is almost in DRS range. He is now just in time to get a hold of that DRS, which is going to allow him to keep up with the rest of them, and he has no time penalties. And he's on relatively fresh mediums that can make it to the end no problem. Whipples potentially could have victory on his hands.
Yeah. I also am enjoying that the top 4 and maybe even top 5 Moldy can close. Oh, Drunken just took the lead for a moment.
Almost, but unfortunately not close enough. But he could potentially make the move as long as he continues to remain alongside. And it looks like he managed to do so. Chili Willy, though, is going to switch back on him, but struggles a bit on the exit, and Drunken Shamrock finally takes home the lead. Now, it's up to him to make a strong enough getaway, so then he manages to get that 3-second gap to Whipples. Whipples, though, again, unless he remains in range, could get a potential victory. Chili Willy, though, is not about to give up that lead without a fight. But unfortunately, he's going to have another fight on his hands soon enough. Yellow Snowman is already gaining slowly but surely on him. Oh, he has a big moment. That may make him vulnerable to Whipples. Fortunately, though, Whipples can't find a way through just yet. But
This is what I love to see. The top 5 really in a battle for the win right now.
Yeah, Molly Dragon is doing a great job keeping up at the moment. He's now within DRS range as well. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out going into the end. I spoke too soon.
Well, now Whipples needs to get a penalty, so it's all equal again.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be in Whipple's best interest to not get that time penalty. I wouldn't be surprised if he's pushed the barrier a little bit on that. Wouldn't be surprised if he's exceeded it maybe once or twice, but of course, you know, you can't do it again, otherwise you're going to get that time penalty, and suddenly you're going to lose that advantage you have on the 3 cars ahead and the car behind. But I think Whipples may try to gain another advantage here. It looks like he may try to find a way past Yellow Snowman. He's on much fresher tires in comparison, twice as fresh, and so that is going to give him a good advantage. You can see Whipples trying to angle himself and get a better shot at overtaking the Ferrari. Unfortunately, though, he has to remain behind. You can see Chili just struggling to hang on to the tail of Chili Willy. Well, Chili Willy trying to hold on to Drunken Shamrock, and I think he actually lost the DRS range. Oh, no, he miraculously manages to stay within range. Yellow Snowman and Whipples all keeping up just behind, with Holy Dragon tailing this group of 5.
Yeah, Moldy Dragon was just out of range for DRS, though. He closes up just enough right after the detection point, it's looking like.
Yeah, Benzo is still not pitted. He is still on the set of hard tires. And I may be mistaken, but this weather is looking extremely overcast now in comparison to pretty sunny skies.
It's raining!
It is? I can't tell.
Look at Benzo's car!
Oh, you're right. It is starting to rain. This is going to make a huge impact. Now, the question is, are they going to try to stay up for one more lap, or are they going to go ahead and pit now? This weather is going to change up the course of the entire race.
This track is notorious for getting wet quick.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, you can see...
So this could be everyone's boxing right now. It's already looking slick out there.
Oh, yeah, but Midnight is certainly looking slick, overtaking Benzo and taking 6th place. His teammate, though, is currently holding on to the lead. But you can see Whipples is just behind and potentially trying to make a move on the Ferrari. But he still has to remain behind, but you can see that gap starting to build, and I think you are right. I think every single one of them are going to go in for inters this very lap. But I wouldn't be surprised if one or two maybe gamble and try to stay out for one lap. Drunken Shamrock is certainly going to do that. Chili, Yellow Snowman, though, is going to elect to go in. Whipples elects to stay out as well.
I feel like it's a good call from Yellow there.
Yeah, this is a bit of a gamble, of course. You may be doing it a
Benzo's
little bit
in.
too early. Benzo going in as well. Not a bad move at all. I mean, that hard tire certainly must be struggling. And now he's going to go on the inters. Big moment in Sector 3. Looks like Kiss My Axe had a big moment.
Yeah. So Bloom stays out. We'll wait to see if Freebird or Kiss My Axe decide to go in. Probably won't be the worst idea since they are in the back. And DRS is disabled. Here we go.
We'll see if there's going to be a definitive pace difference between the medium and the enter right now. And it looks like Yellow Snowman is already gaining ground. This very well could have paid off for him massively if he can gain enough time. But we'll see.
Yeah, I was like, this track is terrible when it starts raining. Get on those enters right now. And only 4 guys listen, and they're probably the ones who get the biggest payoff.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be close to see how Drunken Shamrock, Shelly, and Whipples get out of the pits. Could Yellow Snowman find himself ahead of all of them?
Oh!
Yeah, gets a huge penalty, 5 seconds for crossing the pit lane, exit white line.
He might have gone on the power bit too quick and just tap spun past that line.
Meanwhile, Benzo taking advantage of the entrance overtakes the Lum. Benzo could be in a great spot to get a very good result.
Yellow Snowman has gained 5 seconds on Norm Bash's teammate this lap.
Drunken Shamrock, Chili, Whipples, and Moldy Dragon. And okay. I thought the Midnight was staying out. Let's hope he goes in. He is going into the pits. Norm Bash will be the last driver on slicks, and he is going to follow suit. Well, actually, Balam's going in as well. Drunken Shamrock is going to be able to come out. Will he be ahead or behind Yellow Snowman? This is going to be close, but I think Yellow Snowman is going to find himself ahead.
Oh!
Maybe not.
This is going to be very close. He's going to be on better tires, though. They're going to have grip.
Oh, looks like Drunken Shamrock is remaining ahead, but Yellow Snowman is trying to get 10. He has to remain behind for now, though. Oh, that gamble narrowly paid off for Drunken Shamrock, but unfortunately not for the others. Chili Willy has gotten another time penalty. That's 6 seconds. Whipples has gotten a time penalty.
Drunken
Shamrock has gotten another time penalty. The penalties are really stacking up now that we're in the wet weather. And you can
I think
see,
it's safe to say we could change it to penalties now for the rest of the race.
Yeah, because they're all on enters. It doesn't matter at this point, but you can see how the penalties are stacking up right now. And, well, that 6 seconds of penalties is going to be very costly, but I think if Benzo can bring in a good amount of pace, potentially catch up to that top 5, he could have a really great result in his hands.
Definitely, for sure. Benzo's got to pick up the pace a little bit if he wants to try to benefit from the time penalties ahead.
And you can see there's now a sizable gap between most of the field. So it's been quiet down, but it's all a matter of how much pace can you get in the wet weather. I mean, obviously it could be a little bit more of a struggle, but pushing and gaining that little bit more time can make the biggest difference. It looks like Chili Willy is certainly doing that right now.
That he is, and Yellow still losing a lot of time to Drunken Shamrock right now. He has a 3-second advantage due to the penalties, but he's already down to 2 behind.
Yeah, Chili Willy, he does seem to have better pace than Yellow Snowman, at least it seems that way, but actually they are maintaining relatively even between the two of them. Looks like the gaps are mostly remaining the same, so as long as this continues, Yellow Snowman will actually be the one to take victory, and Whipples will be able to make it on the ability. As Drunken Shamrock, though, will have to settle for a P2. And Kiss My Axe gets yet another time penalty. That's 14 seconds.
Are we going for a record here?
Potentially.
Potentially. I hope for his sake that he does not get disqualified from too many penalties.
Yellow flag in sector 2. Is that Benzo? Oh no!
It is!
Oh, that's completely ruined him. That is the once he keeps up with Midnight, then he can still get P6, but still, that moment has cost him a position, and Normbash is starting to gain on him.
Yes. That is true. But it's crazy. The top 6 all have penalties. P9 and our only driver to be out of the top 10, as 19th through 12th have all DNF'd.
Yeah, this race has claimed almost half the field, which is kind of surprising. I expected more people to make it here at COTA. I mean, this track
Right.
is definitely easier than Singapore, but it's not too different in terms of numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make a joke here real quick, Mage. It looks like Epic Wins has lived up to his name of Epic Losses, as he's DNF'd in both no assist race this season.
Yeah, and he had good pace, but it's just a matter of holding it together, which he's been struggling with a little. But again, if he just gets to that consistency down, he could be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with in Tier 3. He's won both their races.
Oh, we may have a little bit of action here after all. Kiss My Axe is keeping it up and could potentially find a way past Freebird. Freebird goes wide. Does he give Kiss My Axe an opportunity? He looks to be going for it.
Well, if you look at the ERS game, Freebird could absolutely defend for his life against Kiss My Axe, but is not using it currently.
Yeah, Kiss My Axe, he attempted to switch back there, but Freebird just had a better angle going into that corner. And remains ahead for the time being, although even though Kiss My Axe finds itself ahead, well, those penalties are going to hurt him. Speaking of, Freebird actually just took a penalty himself now. And now only 2 drivers are made in this race that don't have any time penalty whatsoever.
And only one of them is getting an advantage of 1 position right now. I just noticed this Snowman is now outside of that 3-second range that he needed to get him from drunken, as Freebird goes way off reservation there.
And Kiss My Axe now finds himself ahead. Now, he could potentially finish the points if he pulls an 11-second gap. So, best of luck there, Kiss My Axe, to pull 11 seconds and 3 laps. Oh, Yellowstone's got another penalty! Oh, well, looks like any hope of potentially keeping up and getting that victory has now been dashed. But Whipples is actually out of range. Looks like if this continues, we have our top 3, Dr. Shamrock, Yellowstone, and Chili Willy.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like Chili Willy may be gaining a bit on Yellowstone. I could be mistaken here.
Oh no. Midnight spun.
Oh, and well, it looks like Benzo now finds himself ahead, but this huge moment is going to cost him not 1, but 2 positions as Norbash is going to try and find a way through. But he went really wide himself there. I think he might have enough of an advantage here. Never mind, he lost it.
So, it's only 1 position lost. Not terrible.
Yeah, but when it comes to any championship, every single point matters.
Oh, yeah.
You need to maximize literally every point you can get because we've seen it time and time again. There have been drivers who have lost championship by a mere 1 point.
Felipe.
Well, yeah, and even half a point. I don't remember. I don't remember who it was, but there was a driver who lost by half a point.
Wasn't it Prost?
I think it was Prost. I want to say it was Prost. It was someone in Prost's era. I know that for certain.
Yeah. I will investigate.
where we did have a very exciting race in the dry. Seems everything has mellowed out in the wet, which I gotta say is a little disappointing. I was hoping to see some more little bit of action here, but still, credit to Drunken Shamrock. He's certainly showing that he's got the pace to hold on to this lead and keep it going to the end. But oh, yellow flag in sector 3. Not sure what happened there. I think it was Norbash maybe having a bit of a moment.
Maybe. But I have a result, Mage, if you're interested.
Ooh.
It was Prost. He lost to Lauda by half a point in 1984.
It was Lauda. I was thinking Senna, but it could have been Lauda as well. I know Lauda didn't Lauda also lose a championship by 1 point as well?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe that was the one he lost to,
Chris Hemsworth.
yes.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Norbash nearly losing it. We've hit a lull, Mage. There's no battles.
Yeah, there's nothing. This race has really quieted down, but one thing's for certain is that Drunken Shamrock is just continuing to build a gap compared to the drivers behind him. And we're now on the penultimate lap. Unless someone has a disastrous moment with these last 2 laps, then looks like all these finishing positions are decided. And it's going to finish in this order, with the exception of Kiss My Axe ending up behind Freebird and out of the points.
Yeah. I believe. Let me check something. With no assist.
Looks like Norbash got a time penalty now. The only driver yet to receive a time penalty is Benzo. Oh, and Chili Willy just suddenly went super wide. And this is allowing Whipples to close the gap. He's now within range. Whipples could get a podium here.
This has just changed everything, because now there is a chance. Well, actually, no, still no chance. It'll just be like a 4-point gap for the championship lead after 2 rounds between Drunken and Chili.
Yeah, that moment
If
when
Whipples
Chili
takes a position.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as Whipple keeps within range, but he had a big moment himself. Did he lose a 3-second gap?
Not yet.
He's almost out of range. It's incredibly close. I know Chili is going to try and give it everything he's got now in order to keep Whipples out of range.
He lost it. Yeah, it's not happening.
Oh, that is going up.
Oh, Drunken got a penalty! It's too late, though.
That's another penalty, but, yep, the gap is too large. It doesn't matter. Kiss My Axe gets yet another penalty. I mean, this is just insult to injury at this point.
It really is.
Still, there's only a few tenths between Whipples and Chili. If Whipples can get enough time, or if Chili has a moment, that could remove Chili from the podium.
Yeah, something to look out for. And also, Yellow's closed in a little bit, but he needs about 3 seconds, a second each sector to get it done, and I don't think he's going to get it done.
No, meanwhile, Whipples is actually losing even more time to the Alfa Romeo driver. Unfortunately, Whipples just had a moment of hope, and then it was immediately ripped away.
Yep. Really, from what was driver error, in my opinion, the lockup.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of driver error, he just had a big moment there with the S's.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that unless if Chili makes a giant mistake, I believe he's gonna be on the podium.
Yeah, he's been performing well. I mean, like you said, as long as he doesn't have another big moment, he's gonna be able to make it to the end.
Yeah. Well, let's see, as we are on the final lap. Drunken looks like he's got no issues. It's gonna bring it on home, hopefully, without damage.
Yeah, but we haven't seen a lot of drivers spin out in this corner up ahead, though. I doubt Drunken Shamrock is going to make a mistake like that. Rounding these final few corners, getting ready to cross the line. It was an intense race for him. He had to contend with Yellowstone and Chili Willy, but ultimately, he was the one to come on top despite a 9-second penalty Drunken Shamrock is gonna win the U.S. Grand Prix.
In quite a fashion, indeed.
Oh yeah, just a lot of confidence in the rain, and that has really paid off for him. Chili Willy is going to be able to hold on to third place. Yellow Snowman taking the second step of the podium. Whipples still taking a solid fourth place, but you can see just about a second off. Molly Dragon, meanwhile, put in an impressive performance to take fifth place here.
Yep.
And then we have the only driver in this entire race to not get a single penalty whatsoever. Benzo is going to be able to take a solid P6.
Yep.
Movement, I just suddenly had the big moment just before he crossed the line. He's going to be able to take 7th. And then we have... Well, actually, hang on. Freebird is struggling a whole lot. Could Kiss My Axe actually gain enough time? He needs a lot of seconds, though. Unless Freebird has a massive moment here near the end, then Kiss My Axe. Oh, Kiss My Axe nearly had a big moment himself. Let's see what
Are
happens.
we ready for interview, Mage?
We will be ready in just a moment. Seeing these last few drivers cross the line, with the Balam will be able to take P9, Kiss My Axe, P10. Well, that is until the penalties hit. Well, then that's an additional penalty for an unserved penalty. Kiss My Axe is definitely going to be out of the points. Freebird will be able to finish in P10.
Barely. He almost was without it.
Yeah, still, that was a brilliant race. Unfortunately, did quiet down the wet, but up until that point, we saw battles throughout. Molly Dragon taking a well-earned driver of the day. And bringing home plenty of points for the Aston Martin team. And we can see the podium celebration getting ready to go on our way, but I think before that, we're just going to get straight into the interviews.
I have one now. Oh, nope, never mind. We lost him. He was here. Where'd Jilly go?
Philly's gone.
He's turning to John Cena.
Oh, there he is. He's in the...
Oh, there he is.
Yep.
All right, here he is this time, for real.
Hey, Shelly, can you hear us?
Jilly, you got us?
No audio detected from him.
Huh.
He's not muted. And
Nope.
he's gone.
Let's try again.
Hey, Shelly, can you hear us?
Ah.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so it was a difficult race, to put it mildly. You had to contend from Drunken Shamrock, Snowman, and Whipples. It was incredibly difficult, especially, of course, when it got into the wet. Unfortunately, the time penalties did play against you, but it was still a brilliant performance, and it was certainly exciting to see all of you race like that. So, how do you feel with that result?
It wasn't ideal. I mean, I finished where I started, so that's better than nothing, but it was a tough race. Strategy was non-existent, so I screwed up the strategy a couple times, and Shamrock had the best of me. Same with Yellow. Yellow got good with the interstop, so
Yeah.
I just screwed up strategy today, but not terrible.
Good news is you still keep the championship lead, so obviously
Yeah.
want to carry that momentum into Hungary.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Right, thank you
Well,
for your time.
good podium today.
Oh, thank you. Oh, tough one. The wet was not fun. I got to the wet and I was like, oh crap. I don't know where I'm braking. I didn't do a single interlap or wet lap for practice, so
Uh,
those were my first laps.
there you go.
Yeah, so just happy to not be in a wall.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that certainly panned out better for you than others, especially the Mercedes drivers.
Yeah,
Oof.
I feel bad for Tuan and JJ.
Yeah.
I talk to them both of them a lot, so it's
Yeah.
not the best thing seeing them both out. But on
Yeah.
to next week, eh?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Yep.
I'll have to go back and watch the commentary, but thank you.
Yep.
See you.
We'll see you
ya.
next week. All right, let's get Yellow Snowman in here.
Yeah, it's Drunken Shamrock. Oh, yeah. Maybe him. That's.
All right, Yellow, you got us?
Yo, what's up?
There he is.
Hey.
How's it going, guys?
All right.
So, good to see you on the podium again. Unfortunately, not the top step, but still, great performance. You did a very good job just immediately going in on those intermediate tires. Unfortunately, Drunken Shamrock just barely managed to edge you out going into that turn one. And the entire race, you were having to contend with not only him, but Chili, and even Whipples, who was joining in on that action. But despite that brilliant result, you're still able to keep close in this championship fight. So, how do you feel with all that?
I think it was pretty good. Somewhat towards the maximum I could have gotten. I do think it was a bit of a struggle towards the end of the race on those inters. I think Drunken Shamrock was a lot more consistent on the inter conditions than I was, and big shout outs to him. He had a hell of a race tonight. But yeah, once I saw the rain, I'm like, all right, I just want to win this race. I want to get in as immediately and see if I can get a jump on these guys, and it worked. I got a jump on Chili, but I just wasn't quite enough on the outlap to get in front of Drunken Shamrock. But otherwise, I think it was a really good performance. I accidentally started on the soft tires. The game did not listen to me.
No,
When I hard tires.
I thought that was your actual strategy.
No, I thought I was on the other strategy. It just didn't work out. But yeah, I'm like, you know what? Let's just try something, and it worked. So yeah, I think it was pretty fun. A really good race. Solid P2, 2 podiums in a row. I'll take it.
Yeah, well, let's see
We
if you
were
can-
definitely wondering, like, what's he doing on the softs this early?
Yeah, we were confused as to the strategy choice, but that makes way more sense that the game just ruined you, and well, it's EA, so it does that sometimes. I get it.
Yeah, I meant to start on hards. The exact opposite. So yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, lots of good battles. Whiffles, shout out to him. He did pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess all is well that ends well, and we'll see if you can keep up this podium streak going next week into Hungary.
Yeah, I think we definitely have a top 3, right? Because it's the same podium 2 times in a row.
Well, not the
Yeah.
exact same podium, but within that range, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the same group. I might be wrong on that, but yeah, definitely us 3, Drunken Shamrock, Jilly, and I are ones to look out for. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Looks like Shamrock is not going to be doing an interview today.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Indeed.
Still, what we can look forward to is Formula One returning next week. And us, like we mentioned before, if I can select the right one. There we go. We're going to be heading next week to Hungary, and so we can all look forward to that. And, of course, Miami the week after that. And I gotta say, looking forward to both. Hungary is definitely, it's a less good track in terms of overtaking, but it is more challenging for the drivers. So we'll see
Absolutely.
who can keep it together very well. Miami, I'm very much looking forward to as well. And
Yes.
we'll be getting to that soon enough. But thank you all for watching. We'll be seeing you all next week. I've been Mage.
I've been Pat.